This is NEGOTIATEx TV.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the NEGOTIATEx podcast with my good friend Aram. But Aram, please introduce your brother-in-law. I'll go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off for you.
Yeah, he is my brother-in-law. So folks, welcome. Keeping it in the family today, as we like to say. We have the opportunity to hear from Mike Farag from Fervor Marketing. Why have a marketer on the show? Great question. We don't even know, but we think there's probably something that negotiators can learn from a marketing expert. If we think of marketing as a way to influence, and not only that, but also in the way business is done. And having known Mike and had a lot of conversations over the years with Mike, I'm excited to kind of delve into this and see what we can learn. So let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Farag. Mike understands what it's like to find a vocation worth pouring your heart into, because after years of climbing the corporate ladder, both sales and marketing, Mike discovered where his heart really was while on a mission trip to Haiti. After seeing firsthand the very real difference that one organization could make in the lives of many, he found a passion for serving brands at the intersection of faith and business, about living out our calling through our work, and about developing healthy organizational cultures so they can succeed from the inside out. And so Fervor was born. Through this award-winning agency, Mike has been serving nonprofits and businesses of all sizes for the past 13 years so they can have and make a greater impact in the world. To date, Fervor has helped 87 organizations refine their messaging and brand identity through their signature brand impact assessment. Currently, Mike and his team serve faith-led organizations in Kansas City and across the country with strategy, brand development, ongoing communication, consulting, and marketing across all channels and for a variety of industries. Under Mike's leadership, Fervor is revolutionizing the craft of helping organizations articulate their purpose, align their work, and amplify their reach so they can do the most good possible. In addition to being Fervor's CEO and chief vision caster, Mike leads Fervor's business development efforts. He loves the outdoors and loves spending time with his amazing wife. And I'm not just saying that because she's my wife's sister, okay, but she is quite amazing, and their 4 beautiful children. So, Mike, welcome. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys, Nolan, Aram. So good to be here. Thanks for that intro, man. I feel privileged, have that read by such a man as yourself.
So, Mike, that's the kind of online bio, and we want people to kind of know who you are. But man, how did you get here? What's been in your own reflection the journey from climbing the corporate ladder to entrepreneur, owning your own marketing firm?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to share and certainly want to make this relevant to the theme of what does real, negotiation look like, and what sort of value might we be able to add, or I'm able to add at all. And I think that started long before I started Fervor in my corporate climb. I loved and was climbing as hard and fast as I could, kind of, let's call it negotiating the best deal possible for Mr. Farag here. And I was focused on that. It was a lot about what I could get from the corporate construct. And they were really good at rewarding that, guys. I mean, if you could figure out what you did for them and did well for them, and you're willing to put that sort of level of effort in, you got a really good coin in return. And that was my hard charging kind of first half of my career, until lots of things changed in my world. A big personal change with a loss of my first marriage sent me on a very different quest. I started journaling, and by the way, guys, if you're not a journaler, I don't care who you are, what you do in your career, a journal is a magic thing. Retrospective is something we all can learn from. And when you journal, you get a chance to get a retrospective. And for me, this was really helpful. I started journaling at that kind of pivotal point in my life. And I thought, it became really clear to me that I needed to leave that corporate construct for something else. And I didn't know what that something else was. And so lo and behold, a mission trip to Haiti was what really got me started on this current path. In July of 2008, I remember it clearly. and I saw something that I'd always wanted in my life, and that was real joy. And I happened to go to Haiti to find that, and I thought, I want a little bit more of that in my life. And I wasn't called to be on the front line of, the mission field. I was given lots of gifts: marketing, communication, strategic thinking. And I was like, I don't think that serves me really well in the front line of Haiti here. Like, I just don't think it does. So when I came home, I found out that there was a problem in the world, and lots of organizations needed help being as good publicly as they were inside the organization. By the way, I think that's true for leaders too. We get in our own way a lot of times, and the public persona is different than what the inside heart of a leader looks like. And I think that's true for lots of great organizations. And it turns out they need a really great marketing communications firm to help them make sure that what is outside, what they say and do and feel and show, is as good as what they and who they are inside the organization. And it turns out my favorite thing to do is to do that for organizations like the group that took me to Haiti. So nonprofit, faith-based nonprofits of all kinds and stripes are our target audience, and it's who we help try to grow and from the inside out, because we believe that's where great growth comes from. And that's what I get to spend my days doing. I got a great team of people. We get a chance to go tackle this mountain together, and it's a blast most days.
Mike, thanks. All right, so let's tackle the elephant in the room. What do we have to learn from you? What can you what from a marketing lens and the way you approach the way you help organizations? What can we take from that would help our listeners be more effective in negotiations they're involved in?
Yeah. I think at the core of what I get a chance to do every day, but what I believe marketing is about, is understanding audience and connecting a message to the audience. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but I'm pretty sure that's what negotiation starts with. Understanding what are frustrations and needs of the other end of the spectrum, not just you, because we all have internal needs and frustrations, and largely we're blinded by our own, as opposed to really understanding what someone else needs. And in the marketing space, what we do all day, every day, is help our clients understand the audience, their target, their main audience. We happen to call them ideal advocates, because we believe advocacy actually changes more than just what a target buyer persona might look like. And what we think from that perspective is that when you understand audience and you understand their needs, their frustrations, and you craft a message that connects with them in a voice that can be understood, and then magic starts to happen, because now real connections, real relationships starts to happen. We have common ground. And gosh, I think from a negotiation standpoint, I'm negotiating the sale of lots of things for clients, or the donation of millions of dollars for clients. And that takes a real keen understanding of audience and what message is going to resonate with that audience the best. And so what I would hope, so from a target audience perspective, when I think about what do we have to teach anyone about negotiation, gosh, I think we have a lot to teach them about negotiation, because I think the best negotiators start with the end in mind, and they start with their audience in their crosshairs. And when they have their audience in their crosshairs, the more they know about them, the more they've thought about them, the more they've thought about how they got up in the morning, what do they drive to work, what do they care about, what are their current real felt needs, this real visceral kind of, we would call this a physical need. Before we can actually get to the negotiation needs, we've got to cure the physical needs, which lots of times are, what is the burning questions or series of questions in their minds? And they're not going to hear anything else until we've kind of already addressed those sorts of key issues. That's true in marketing for sure, when we're trying to deliver a message, no matter what the medium we're trying to deliver. And I think it's true in negotiation. At least that's my current working hypothesis for you in terms of what we might teach is great profiles, great messaging probably leads to a great negotiation.
I think, well, if I could jump in here, Aaron. So I think what's awesome is that, Mike, you're really kind of highlighting almost like our process, but we're just using different words in exchange here. You brought up a lot about communication relationships and how that allows you to uncover interest. Well, for us, that's essentially getting into the value, the circle of value, to be able to figure out those needs, to be able to start really answering those questions. And it all starts with good communication, good relationships. Aaron.
Yeah, I love, thanks, Nolan. You talk about ideal advocates, Mike. So I'm just curious, why isn't it obvious to the folks you work with that they need to do this, and kind of how do you make, how do you put the sauce together? How do you help them do that?
Well, it's really hard. So, I mean, think about this. I mean, we all think in most cases, humans, we're, we're pretty simple. We think the way we see the world is the way others see the world. And so when we walk in the room, we automatically start to have assumptions about, well, they automatically know what I know. And when I say things, it makes sense. The truth is, read the same piece of paper, and Aaron and I and Nolan and I, we're going to read it. We're still going to interpret that piece of paper, the same words on the page, differently. Same data in front of us, we're still going to interpret it differently. And we're going to hear different things because it's our paradigm, it's our story. You haven't been, to the same places. I haven't been in the same situations as you. And so we're automatically going to, the words are going to matter. When I say the word theater or in theater to a bunch of military guys, I automatically know that is a different modicum. And if they have been in combat, it's going to be a different modicum than somebody who's never, ever served a day in their life. Guys, it's the same words, but it carries with it very different weight. And that matters. And so we have to know the audience. The better we understand the audience and their historical understanding, the more we can measure a really good message to hit. Why don't they understand this? Because humans just naturally think we've had the same experiences when we walk in the room. And if I say in theater to you, you're going to understand what I mean by it. I didn't mean in combat. Of course not. We're not here. We're here in a theater. I mean, we're physically in a theater or something else. But the truth of the matter is, you carry with it all of your historical understanding and context. And that is what we really try to get clients to understand, is that this isn't really about them. In fact, they think it's the Field of Dreams. And I love the Field of Dreams. It's a great movie. It is the absolute worst kind of marketing ever. And so you don't just get to write your message apart from your audience and then hope people come. You don't do that. Not if you want to grow, especially in an early stage organization. This is where I believe, like, we love Simon Sinek. We believe he's got a great kind of modicum of, why, how, and what, the golden circle. But we think that misses the mark in lots of ways, because typically that means you've written it and now you're hoping that just droves of people will show up because they will buy why you do. Well, the droves of people never show up until you tell them and you have a chance to talk to them. And so what we've missed in this perspective is that, he was profiling large organizations, been around for years, and have had a chance to, millions and millions, if not billions of dollars worth of ad budgets. And most of the organizations we work with just don't have that. And they're never going to have that kind of platform. What they do have is advocacy, and they do have a chance to relate a real message to somebody. And so I think we start to show them that value of what that looks like. Why don't they know it coming in? And they're human, just like you and I. And it's hard to, shed your human qualities when you walk in a room. You just make assumptions.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video on NegotiateX TV. If you found any value at all, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon if you want to be notified of future videos. And then we also have a couple videos over here that you might be interested in checking out. If you and your small business, your team, are looking to get negotiations or leadership training, then you can head over to negotiatex.com and learn more about the coaching services we offer. Thanks, and I'll see you over in the next video.